Have you ever wondered what makes someone truly exceptional at their job? Is it their skills, their attitude? Is it something more? Today we're going to dive into a powerful secret that I think can transform your career. It's not just about enhancing your skills, it's about a fundamental shift in how you approach your work. You see, every job has the potential to impact others significantly. In this video, we'll explore how focusing on the value that you create for the business that you serve and the customers that it serves ultimately can lay the foundation for a value-driven career. My name is Jason Roberts. I've been a recruiter, a coach. I've worked for some of the biggest companies in the world. And what I've learned as a leader in business is that you can be the best at your job simply by focusing on the value that you are delivering to the organization and to the customers in the end. I'm going to spend the next few minutes laying out the foundations of exactly what it is to shift to a value-driven mindset. And then at the end of this video, the 3 things that you need to do to be better at your job. The 3 things that you need to do to transform your career into a value-driven career. You will be perceived by everyone, by your customers, by your company, by your boss. Everyone will see that you're different, that you're unique, that you have a different perspective than they're used to. They're not accustomed to value-driven work, and they'll see that. Stick around for the 3 tips at the very end of this video on how to make this happen. Before we get started, I need to ask for your help. YouTube really values interaction. They want to make sure that you're getting something out of this. So if you would give a thumbs up, that would really help me. A comment, I'm interacting on all these comments. If you have questions, I will answer those questions, and hopefully we can build a little community here that's interested in improving the work and the work life of everyone else. Try to subscribe as well. I'll be doing a lot of these videos over time, so I would really love to be able to tell you when those videos are coming out. If you subscribe and hit the bell icon, you get notified when that happens. Thanks so much. Now we can dive in. So what is a value-driven mindset? I want to give you a few examples of what this looks like in real life. And hopefully you've seen this in some places. You can recognize what this is when you run into it. The idea is very basic. It's that you have customers that you're serving every day, and you are a servant. The concept is true service to people. What can you give? What can you give back to the world? What can you deliver to someone that helps them every single day? This is not a new concept. Whether you're someone who believes in karma and then you get back from the world what you put into the world, or you believe in the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is a pretty normal concept we've had for centuries, that you serve people and in the end, it will be returned to you in good measure. That's something that we've conceptually understood as a species for a long time. So who are the people that you are serving now, and who are the people that you want to serve? I want to give a couple of examples of how some big companies do this and how one person individually has done this that just really blows my mind. As you might be able to tell, I have frequented McDonald's before. I really like McDonald's. I think it's pretty good. But normally I go to McDonald's for a very specific reason. I go because I'm in a hurry. I'm running to McDonald's. But my customer persona is, man, I'm hungry. I waited too late to make something to eat. I know I can run to McDonald's, get something on my way to wherever I'm going, or bring it back to my house really fast and get on to the next thing. It's not because I'm looking for a super nutritious meal. That's rarely the case. It's sometimes because I want a Big Mac, but I have my own problems. The bottom line, though, is I go to McDonald's, and when I do, there's a lady in the drive-thru who really understands how to deliver value to a customer. She knows that we're all in a big hurry. She knows that we need a smiling face. She knows that we need some sort of sustenance, and we have a need. We're hungry. We're hungry people. And it might be that there's a single mom who's been working all day, then ran kids around to soccer practice at night, and she just needs something to feed the kids. This lady that you run into, she knows you're frenzied and you're busy and you're harried. And when you drive through, she'd get your order. She gets it right. Those are the basics. But she greets you with a smile. She says, "How are you today? Hope you're having a great day today." Now, she works at the drive-thru at McDonald's. I've had many other interactions with people at the drive-thru at McDonald's. But my wife and I have talked about this lady. I don't even know her name, but she's incredible at her job because she greets you with a smile, asks how you're doing. You have a very brief interaction because she knows you're in a hurry. That's part of the deal. But when you leave that experience, there's been some value delivered. It's a warmth that was delivered. But she understands what it is to provide value. She's providing a feeling along with the food. That's what she's doing. There's value being delivered. And it's a value that I really think is important. Now, I'll give you another example. Walt Disney. So I don't know if you know this, but Disney is all about creating complete experiences. When Disney created Disneyland, he wanted you to shift in everything that you do. When you go from Tomorrowland, it needs to feel futuristic. When you go to Pioneerland, you need to feel like you're in the Old West in the US. That needs to happen. So he changed everything. The texture of the ground that you walk in, the smells around you, the sights. If there is a ride that looks futuristic and you can see it from Pioneerland, they will put up a tree to block your view so that you don't see a futuristic thing while you're in Pioneerland. Everything is taken care of from the customer's perspective. Now, the people that work at Disney, they have a very special job. Their job is to create magical experiences, and they're empowered to do so. If there's someone whose job is to sweep the streets on Main Street, they also have a job of making sure that everyone there is having a really magical time. So they keep their eye out. They're empowered to stop what they're doing, stop their sweeping, and takes care of someone. If there's a little girl that's lost, help them find it, find someone. If someone's dropped their ice cream cone that they just waited in line for and they're super disappointed, they can go in, jump the line, and get that person taken care of. Every single person there is on a single mission, is to provide a single value. And that value is a magical experience. The whole business, the whole company is based on this. That's why it's the number one tourist destination in the world. Walt Disney World is the number one tourist destination in the world, simply because everyone there is value driven. They are seeking to deliver a magical experience without fail. Every single one is doing the same thing. There are other places that do it too. Ritz-Carlton has the same thing. Every single Ritz-Carlton employee is empowered and actually has some money set aside that they can use in order to provide an amazing experience for someone. For example, I heard a story about a person who's in from Chicago and their waiter at some point about what they were eating. They were eating in the Ritz-Carlton restaurant, so it's not too shabby. But the one thing they were disappointed about in their visit to Chicago is they hadn't had Chicago-style deep dish pizza. Well, this waiter took that pretty seriously. They go in the back, they talk to the chef, they say, hey, can we give these people some deep dish pizza? Drop what they're doing. Somebody runs out to one of the best pizza spots in Chicago, buys a pizza, runs it back. The chef does some things to doctor it up, of course, because they're the Ritz-Carlton. You can't just give them pizza that's been run in, and then delivers that to the customer. Free of charge, no extra charge. But you know what? The value that customer got, this experience that they wanted, they had delivered to them. And it was simply that way, or listening to what that customer ultimately wanted and delivering on that value. That's the concept. That's value-driven work. It's the waiter's doing his job. Like 90% of the time, 95% of his day is simply taking orders, putting the orders in, carrying food over, checking to see if people are fine, filling iced tea glasses, whatever he's doing. That's the normal part of the job. But those moments, those small moments where you can deliver true value, that's magic. That is true magic. And that's how you build a value-driven career and value-driven experiences. Chick-fil-A is another great example. You go to Chick-fil-A and go through their drive-through. Gosh, I'm talking a lot about fast food in this video, by the way. Maybe I've got a problem. I don't know. But you go to Chick-fil-A and you go through their drive-through and you say thank you when someone takes your order. That's just what you do. It's a normal part of the conversation. And you know what their response is every single time? My pleasure. Every time. It's my pleasure. Now, what Chick-fil-A does is they know they have a couple of really important values. It's important to get through their line fast because they're fast food. And they know that speed is the number one value that customers want. And there is no place faster to get through a drive-through than Chick-fil-A. Doesn't exist. They understand that value. And every single person there is on the same mission. Oh gosh, cars are getting stacked up. I'm going to run out with the iPad and start taking orders in the back. And you go up front and start expediting those orders when they come through. And then have someone else start cooking up some more fries because we're going to process a bunch of people through here and get them on their way because they really need to get out of here. That's value driven. That's exactly what they're focused on. They're saying, here's what my customer is looking for and pushing it through. And the experience their customer has in interacting with them is positive. They do it every time on purpose. They say, my pleasure. And it is. I believe them. I think it is. And if you get stuck at the drive-through, they don't shut the window and leave it alone. They'll say, hey, how are you doing? They'll have a conversation with you and interact with you like normal people, even though they're speeding through this process. It's truly amazing. There's no one better at this in the whole fast food business than Chick-fil-A. I talked about the one lady that I know at McDonald's who is exceptional at her job. The reason she stands out, I think really, is that she acts like she's working at Chick-fil-A when everybody else acts like they're working at McDonald's. And she's amazing. She really blows your mind when you talk to her. Okay, enough of the fast food. Here are the things that you can do to transform into this value-driven mindset. It's very simple. Think about, what does the customer need? What's the value that my customers need in this interaction? Because the interactions with us are unique every time. And you're there to serve that customer. Now, that's a big deal. We're in a world that doesn't value service as much as it used to, but that's what we do. We serve each other. We are a pack animal, we humans, and we are here to serve one another. That's back to that karma thing. You get out of the world what you put into the world. That's back to the golden rule. Treat other people as you would like to be treated. That's what this is. We know this. We all should be servants. If we spend all of our time serving people in the best possible way, delivering the thing that they need ultimately, then we win. They win first. But in the end, we win. People recognize that, man, that person's delivering incredible experiences. That person's delivering excellence in their job. And this is another part of how to be better at your job. You get hired for your hard skills, meaning if you're really good at accounting and you have your degree and you've had experience, you can be hired to be an accountant. If you're really good at recruiting, which is what I do, and you have experience, you can be hired as a recruiter. You get fired for soft skills. If you're a jerk when you do it, if you don't follow the right process, if you're not thinking about the value that you're delivering to all the people around you, that's how you get fired. So value-driven career is the key. Here are the steps that you can take to make this happen. 1, look around you at the people that you are serving and think about what true value they're trying to achieve. What do they need? What do they want? What are they trying to get out of this interaction ultimately? That's step 1. Step 2, simply focus on delivering to that value, delivered on what they need, and do it quickly, do it with a good attitude. The how is as important as the what. Remember, how and what, equally important. You have to do both things. At Chick-fil-A, they have to deliver the food really fast, but they do it really nicely. And that's what we love about it. They're really good at that. So how and what, both super important. So number 1, you're thinking about the value that's being delivered. You're delivering an overall experience. And as someone's shopping, if you see that they're confused or looking somewhere, you can ask them, hey, can I help you? If they're like, nah, I'm fine. There's some people, their value is leave me alone. And you can do that. Leave them alone. That's completely fine. There are other people that are super lost. Like when I go in and I'm shopping for my wife, I did this over the holidays. I went to Victoria's Secret and I had no idea what size pajamas. We were buying pajamas for everybody, all of my daughters and my wife. But I have no idea how pajamas are sized. Like, are they sized normal size? Do they make them a little big because you're sleeping in them? I don't know what size to pick for everybody. And the lady that worked with me said, okay, here's what you need to know. What size is she wearing? I said, I think it's this size. I had my wife's measurements, believe it or not. I was that kind of guy. She said, okay, here's what you need. You need a size small or a size medium or whatever. And she actually told me in different things I was buying because of the type of material, I needed different sizes. That's wild. I would never have known that. But she saw me like confused staring there and was like, can I help you? You clearly need some help. That was of tremendous value to me. Now, I know for sure my wife, if she had gone in there and somebody said, can I help you? She'd be like, no, we're just looking. She does not like talking to people and interacting in that way. You have to understand the value that the person that you're working with is ultimately trying to achieve and deliver on that value. It's going to be different. You have to be perceptive. And sometimes, number 3, you can just ask. You can ask them. And that's what this lady did for me. Can I help you? Yes, please. I don't know what I'm doing. And she helped me quite a bit. If you focus on these things, understanding the value, delivering on that value, asking about that value, it will change everything. It'll change the way everyone sees you. It'll change the way that you think about your work because you're thinking about how can I make somebody's day better? How can I give somebody the thing they need? How can I deliver the perfect gift for this person's spouse that they wouldn't have been able to pick on their own? How can I make their Christmas morning special? Because that's really what this lady did. She made, actually Christmas Eve, because we do pajamas Christmas Eve. She made the Christmas Eve special. Here's what's wild. The thing that she helped me pick out, my wife had picked out the pajamas for my kids and I didn't see what she picked. And I picked out the pajamas for my wife and everybody opened them together and I'd picked literally the same thing as she had picked. Now I had some help and I had asked some questions and this lady helped me and she kind of got a feel for the style. It blew our minds. It completely blew our minds that we lined this up so well. The value that lady gave me wasn't simply in the interaction that we had. She gave me an incredible Christmas Eve experience. That's amazing. That really is amazing. You can do those sorts of things in your job. Think down the line. What's going to happen? How is this person's life going to be impacted down the road? If you're working the drive-through, like the lady at McDonald's I was talking about, think about this single mom that's been running around, worked all day, ran kids to soccer practice and batting practice and whatever else. I went to gymnastics right after that. And they're just beat, man. They just need to feed these kids that have been running around on all these practices. And they are just tired. You can deliver something to them that is a smile when they're tired and the food that they need for their kids. And the kids are thrilled and they're getting their happy meals and the mom is beat, but she's had this smile enter into her day. It's a big deal. That is a big deal. That changes people's worlds. So think about this. Think about how you can shift to a value-driven mindset, a value-driven career. What value can you put into the world today? Because we all have something to contribute. Everybody does. I know that you do. I know that I do. What value are you going to bring today? Join me next time.